Student Union, walk your butt across the quad. Salem U is in session. The lecture hall doors are open. This is Days for Dummies. It's me, Matt. Hi.
Hi, everybody. It's Kat.
And
Good
we're going to talk
morning.
about days of our
Our
lives.
lives.
Days of our lives. As we are all living through our own days of our lives.
Yep. Like the sands of time.
The sands through the hourglass of my life and yours.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the sands of the hourglass for Brady Black
Yeah.
and Xander Kyriakis and Dr. Rolf in the little serum.
Yeah, Dr. Rolf came walking through the tunnels, huh? Didn't he?
Did a bomb go off down there? I mean, it's a mess, Kristen.
Oh, Matt.
Yeah.
I hope they put on Dr. Rolf for a second because that's an accent, my
I
dear.
know. I got to study it and practice it and try to sound like a Dr. Rolf, you know? He's going to stick around. I need 8 months of Dr. Rolf so I can have something because, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it, Doc. I am
I
big time.
know.
So, I'm going to need something.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Laura. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Laura. So, I still got the chalkboard from last week up. So we still got a picture of Drake Hogiston on around us, hanging out with us this week. And I'll have that up until I'm tired of it, until I feel like I'm done.
That's fair, Matt. That's fair. You're the one that you're in charge of that stuff. So yeah, you do what you do you.
He's a legend, and it's not
He
just a
sure is a
1 week
legend.
thing, right? We can't just be like, oh man, and then a week later pretend like,
No, no. Oh, Matt, just perspective, right?
yeah,
We gave another heartbreaking story, but we gave Johnny a month.
yeah, we did. We did.
Didn't
We
we?
did. I mean, that was more of a justice for Johnny's situation. I
Well,
didn't want the
yes,
story
but
to go away.
still, we
Yeah.
didn't put him to bed.
Mm-mm. No, no. Jeannie says that's okay. We love Drake. Is this a recast of Dr. Rolf? I don't know, Laura. I wish I'd be able to tell you that. I'm not sure if this is the same Dr. Rolf as forever. She
Uh,
continues. He looks different from what I remember. It's also been a
oh,
long time since you were watching as well, so it's possible that this man just got old.
the last Dr. Rolf I saw is the same dude that we saw this week.
Mm-hmm.
The gentleman I saw last year at
At the Bourbon
the
Room?
day players
At the
at the
Bourbon
day
Room?
players, the Berman room.
Uh-huh.
Same dude.
Dr. Rolf, Days of Our Lives. Let me see what the internet has to say.
Mm-hmm.
Portrayed by Richard Wharton. I think there's only been the one.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's only been. Oh yes. Oh no. It is different.
He is different from last year.
He's different from 2021. So
Oh, okay.
William Ute played Dr. Rolf on and on from 97 to 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And from 2022 and on, it's this guy named Richard Wharton. So he's the
Okay.
only Rolf that we know. But he's not the only Rolf in the history of Days of Our Lives.
Right. Well, I'm grateful to hear that because now I know I've not gone crazy.
So
Not
yeah,
for
so
this
so so
moment
the Dr.
anyway.
Rolf that,
Took me in 15 minutes.
the classic Days fans remember, I guess, has a different face than this man. But I
Sure.
don't know, he took a serum or something. He's just like, I'm gonna make something for my face. And now it's
I
different.
think I think we need him. I want to name him like maybe the scientific ponytail or the science.
Does he have much of a ponytail though?
No, he has a little braid. He has a braid. He has a ponytail, but he braids it out.
Oh my gosh, the tight ponytail. The man who has the body of Li Shin. He came on through and I'm like, oh, was the serum derived from spinal fluid from a very alive Li Shin, Dr. Rolf? Lara celebrates. Aha, I was right.
I don't want Li Shin to be dead though.
Oh, I don't think he is. I think he's just has been busy with Zatima.
Wouldn't it be crazy? Wouldn't it be crazy if they, like save Sarah, her paralysis because of Dr. Rolf and blah, 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 and all that. and then Lee Shen is alive, and they wheel him out, and it's like, well, we had to make him paralyzed to save Sarah.
The universe needs balance.
I mean, that would be hokey, weird days of our lives, kind
That would
of.
be goofy weird days of our lives. You're absolutely right. That, or she gets injected and then she starts to walk again, but then she's like, I miss Wendy. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I just, I miss Wendy. She's my sister, and I haven't seen her in a long time. Oh my gosh. They were able to put Stefano DiMira's personality into Steve Johnson through a fake eyeball. So, Days of Our Lives can do anything they want.
Wackadoodle, I love it.
Wackadoodle. I'm looking forward to it. So, folks, I've been blessed as a podcaster with a trove of Days of Our Lives clips and episodes and histories and decades and decades and decades and decades of it. I have access to it because I'm cool. I don't know if anybody else does. I don't know how to tell you how to get it. I cannot share it with you or anything like that. All I know is that I have access to it. I don't remember why or how or anything. It's just a gift that was given to us when we started doing Days for Dummies. So thank you to whoever it was that put this thing together. And I wish that I could share it, but I'm sure it would be very wrong for me to do so. With all of that said, I have cracked open the safe, mother. Because I was thinking about it. We talked about Drake Hogiston last week. I talked about him some more just by myself on the podcast, on the channel this week, just because I had more to say, and I feel so bad, and I miss the dude already, and I never even met him, right?
Sure.
So I thought, what better way than to go back to the very beginning? And so I thought, let me go back to the very beginning. There's a whole thing here of it all, right? So I click on the thing, and mother, it doesn't just start with him looking at himself in a mirror and going, oh my God, my face is different. I don't know my name. It must be John Black. Apparently, it starts 7 months beforehand.
Oh.
As they lay the foundation for the return of Roman Brady.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have gleefully and accidentally, unintentionally, come across the debut of Steve Johnson. He is a 50s greaser in 1985. Just his hair.
What were they? He's a beatnik hooligan?
Yeah, he's not even a beatnik, right? Because I don't think he's out there, like doing slam poetry and smoking weed, right? He's from the streets is what he is, okay? He lacks hygiene. He loves his switchblade. He doesn't wear a sleeve. Never a sleeve in sight.
Is it a raw sleeve?
Yeah, I think so. Like he used to roll up his cigarettes in the sleeve, but then he just ripped it off one day, right? He's been hired by this insane, crazy criminal. Yes.
You would have been hilarious. You know what would have been hilarious? If they would have given him rip away sleeves. White sleeves would have been funny.
I'm gonna get you, Bo. So he's been hired by Savannah. Her name is Savannah Wilder, and she's a bad lady, Mom.
She's a bad woman. She's a bad Mama Jamma.
She's a bad Mama Jamma, and she's played by somebody. Savannah Wilder, Days of Our Life. She's played by somebody. She's played by Shannon Tweed. Do you know who Shannon Tweed is?
Shannon Tweed, a model back in the day?
I don't know, but this is what she looks like now. I don't know if you're going to be able to.
She's a model back in the day. Maybe the chat can tell me. I don't know.
So Savannah Wilder, played by Shannon Tweed, she was only on for a year, and she's somebody who liked to make specific types of videos for mass distribution for a certain type of audience that is over the age of 18. And if you were to watch a movie like Back to the Future, you can see that they used to play such movies at the theater itself.
Oh, like the Mitchell Brothers Theater in the Bay Area.
Right. So she does that, but it's really just a cover, Mother.
Mm,
She's really just pushing heroin.
gosh,
So her heroin
it
business
sounds
is
seedy like
covered
Sonny
by
did back in the day.
her heroin business is covered by her porno business.
Oh boy.
And I don't know what exactly the details are, but Bo Brady does not like this.
Bo Brady. And we, as viewers, even though we've
Hey,
been
Michelle.
watching now over a year, we've still not seen Bo Brady. But we're going to see him soon, huh? Bo's
Oh,
coming
yes.
back to town.
Oh,
We're
yes.
going to see Bo.
So actually doing this made me really excited for Bo and Hope Mom because these two are lightning in a bottle.
Okay,
They've been so fun.
so remind me. Bo is a Brady.
Bo's a Brady. Hope is a Horton.
Bo is a Brady, and he's he's related. So he's a Brady.
Mm-hmm.
So
He's
who's
Roman's
his
brother,
He's Roman's brother.
but he's actually Victor's son.
He's actually Victor's son.
He's actually
so he's actually a Kyriakis?
he's a Kyriakis Horton. No, a Kyriakis Brady, excuse me. So I guess Mrs. Brady and Mr. Victor Kyriakis had a fling at some point, and Bo was the result. And Mr. Brady, Sean Brady, didn't know until later. But as it turns out, Bo is actually Victor's kid. Which explains why, fast forward to now when we're podcasting, Victor's plane goes down after visiting Bo, who's in a coma over in Europe. Because there's the tie there. So he was raised as a Brady. He's really Victor's kid, but he's Bo Brady, married to Hope. Hope is a Horton.
Is she Abigail's mom or no, Jennifer is Abigail's mom.
Right.
Is she Abigail's sister?
I don't know her relation to Abigail. She is the grandchild of Tom and Alice, but I don't know who her parents are.
It's not Julie.
No,
Julie and Doug got kids?
no. So I think Julie is like in her early 30s at this point in 1985 or something.
Oh, really?
Or late 20s or something. She's basically on age par with Hope ish.
Oh. But Julie's the old lady now.
Julie's an old lady now, yes. But I'm talking about 1985. This was 40 years ago.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah. Caroline is his mom, says Jeannie. Caroline Brady. Bo is the son of Caroline Brady and Victor, but was raised by Sean.
Oh, raised by Sean. So, brother to Teresa then.
Oh, Julie's kid is Hope. Thank you very much, Samaj. Julie and Doug's child is Hope.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Well,
So we'll see if that stays true.
thank goodness
Yeah,
for
she
our
is Doug's
chat,
child.
right? When the professor's
gracious.
gone, our chat.
So I'm watching these clips, right? But they're all edited down and cut up to be just kind of what's important for the Pond story.
Okay, yeah,
So
okay.
it's still, like what happened every day leading up to it, but all the stuff that isn't really necessarily important to the details of the who, why, where, when, and how isn't on there. So I'm sure there's a whole rounded additional cast of Days of Our Lives that I'm not seeing in these clips because it's very much Bo, Hope, another Horton, Elizabeth? No, not Elizabeth. Something Horton. I can't remember right now. It doesn't matter. She's blind. That's what matters.
Oh,
Oh, her mother was Addie. Julie is Hope's half-sister. Oh, okay, well, I mean, we'll get it all figured out. She's a Horton, and that's what matters.
boy. She has an ornament in that box.
She has an ornament. Yes, there's a Hope and ornament, and Bo has been married to Hope. Like, they're together. I think that they're married in these episodes that I'm watching. So this Bo and Hope team has been together.
Well, I know from the past, and of course not being a Days of Our Lives viewer at the time, but from the past, just being a soap opera fan, everybody knows who John and Marlena are, and everybody knows who Bo and Hope are too.
It's like the two biggest couples to come out of Days of Our Lives, right?
I think so.
definitely remember Bo and Hope. I would be, if you were to have said, hey, what are some couples that you know the name of on shows you haven't seen? Bo and Hope probably would have been the first one out of my mouth.
Oh, I think so
I
too.
feel like they were majorly popular.
Oh,
Like,
I think another couple that you would just automatically know, even though if you weren't a viewer, would be Victor and Nikki.
yeah, that's another one. The
Hmm.
Newmans.
The Newmans,
The
yeah.
Young and the Restless. No, Addie is
Uh-huh.
Julie Sutton. See, look at that. They're trying to see. It's too complicated that even the chat is trying to figure it out.
Well, that's because, it's just all convoluted on all the soap operas. You so, well, no, that's not her first cousin. That's her blah blah blah. I don't know.
Well, so here's the fun thing about too. Also, Mike. So I'm watching this '85 stuff, and this is like the peak of like everybody's interest in not only Days of Our Lives but also soap operas. You know, the mid '80s, everybody loved soaps in the mid '80s,
Oh
and
gosh, yes.
these shows had already been on for 20 years.
Yes, I mean that was back in the day where these shows were pertinent and important to the networks.
Yeah, and you can tell. You can tell in the presentation too. There was so much ambiance, so much more now than before. So if they were to have just kept the same sound engineer over the last 40 years, when they're in Horton Town Square, it wouldn't just be a bunch of actors standing on the soundstage. They would actually have like of the wind. Uh, they would have other people that you couldn't see, but you'd be able to hear like activity and chatter. You'd be able to hear like kids playing off in the playground off screen,
And maybe a clink of a glass
a
every
clink
once
of
in
a
a while or
glass or
something.
a boom, 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 a little conversation that's been happening. All of this like world ambiance
Mm-hmm.
seemed to have existed back then, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
not anything they focus on now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so well lit. It didn't used to be so well lit. Kayla
Well,
is a Brady.
that
Okay.
those are things that could go away that really do affect time, efficiency, and money.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to pay the person to do that. They actually have to do it. And then when it comes down, does this enhance the story? No, it just enhances the presentation. We're good. It's cardboard sets. They know what they're getting. Move on.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fine. It's a way, but it's different.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
not a complaint either. It's just something that I noticed.
It's
Also,
observation.
it's observation. Also, HD has changed how soaps look as well. Like, of course, I'm watching a VHS copy onto a digital platform, and so it's going to be kind of crappy to begin with. But
Yeah,
even
grainy and
then, a little grainy. But even then, the original like footage, I'm sure it wasn't HD. There was still little zzz to it, right? back in the day.
Mhm.
But that means though that they didn't have to light it as well, and everything didn't look so clean, and you can get away with something janky in the back corner because it didn't really broadcast. And there was just more depth to the
yeah.
sets than we're
Mhm.
getting now, because everything now is just so brightly lit, because they don't want to have to hang lights anywhere. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to spend the time to adjust and this and go sit there and okay, we're going to set this up, and so the whole thing is just always lit.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. I
anyway,
mean, and that takes time, that takes
yeah,
stagehands and time, like, especially on a day where, let's say, the studio is going to switch out a bunch of sets because not everything stays up at the same time. What
yeah,
they're going to use is what stays up. So on a night where they're going to be switch out a bunch of sets and stuff, I would imagine they have a night crew that's there overnight
oh yeah, swapping it out, all that kind of stuff, and they don't want to have
doing
to
all
hang
that stuff.
lights. They don't want to
Yeah,
have to get the body doubles in to make sure the shadows are correct and all that stuff. And so,
exactly.
as somebody who really settled back into soap operas in the last 5 years, in 2019 and beyond, essentially,
Hmm.
I hadn't thought about it, hadn't noticed, hadn't cared about the obvious and very, very, very obvious visual changes.
But I think the visual changes because, and I think there's reason why it's not so obvious to us. It was not an overnight change. It was
Slow.
a slow progression, and your mind will just accept that if
Hmm.
it's slow enough,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
not point it out.
yeah,
Your brain
yeah.
won't point it out to you if it's slow progression, and you could see a very, very obvious difference over a matter of time,
Hmm.
and it just wouldn't be that obvious to you.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, just like, for instance, you see a friend of yours and you see them every day. Well, you
hmm
don't see the difference in them, but you haven't seen your friend in 10 years. There's a
yeah.
difference.
Folks, if you were to go back to our very first video that we do here, this is so brown. It's so brown, you guys. It's rich like chestnut. It's gorgeous. And now is salt and pepper. Anyway,
It's still gorgeous, okay?
all of that to say, oh, thank you, Mother. All of that to say, I've been having a good time getting to know Steve Johnson from the beginning. I'm going to get to know John Black from the beginning. And it's been super fun knowing that Bo and Hope are coming back to the show. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that was their first big announcement from the new writing team. We're bringing back Bo and Hope. We know you
Mm-hmm.
like them. We're bringing them back.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I've seen some of them, not all of them, definitely not all of them, and only them in the good part, they're doing well right now.
I wonder if they'll bring back, I wonder when Bo and Hope actually show up on screen. I'm sure they're filming already 7 months ahead, so they're on set. And they might have had enough chance to get on set and get off of it again when they're so far ahead. Who knows?
Well, I mean, so as I've come to understand it as well, since so we've been doing podcasting about GH for 5 years. We've only been doing Days of Our Lives for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Which means, and on top of that too, we call it Days for Dummies because we haven't watched it before.
We still don't.
This is a new show for us.
Yeah.
So we don't know schnit about anything that happened before last year. Okay, we don't know schnit.
And the fall of 23 is about where it starts.
But apparently, when they made the change from NBC to Peacock, also came a change in the budget. Also came a change in their affordability of some of the actors that they've had the longest.
Mm-hmm.
John and Marlena were gone and then came back.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it was before, it was like 2011 to 2015 or something like that. Like John got paralyzed and they needed to go away for treatment, and so John and Marlena left for a number of years.
Wow.
Yeah, came back.
Mm-hmm.
But all other people who had been with the show for a very long time, like Bo and Hope,
Mm-hmm.
also found themselves dismissed due to budgetary constraints.
Mm-hmm.
Which leaves us with essentially a group of brand new characters.
Some of them, yeah.
Some of them, I mean, Chads and EJs and Steffens and all of they kind of been there, but when it came to like their true anchoring force,
Mm-hmm.
apparently they had gone away. So Bo and Hope apparently had been with the show and with the show and with the show and with the show, and them not being on the show right now is weird. So I would expect them to stick around.
Well, I hope so. I would think that they would come back around the time of Doug's funeral thing.
Yeah. From my understanding, they're coming back around the Doug funeral time, especially if it's Hope's daddy.
Yeah, Doug and Dave. Yeah.
Then that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they're going to stick around. And then also we found out this week, now that they have to make arrangements for another departure of a character, that even more characters that we all used to know and love are going to be coming back through town. And some of them will maybe sticking around as well. With the new writing team, with the needing to save face that the show needs to do right now because of bad publicity from last year.
Yeah, they
From
had
this year.
a lot of it, actually.
Bad publicity, 3 major deaths on the show of actors that have been major characters and major plot and major expectations in the fans.
Yeah.
They're clearly trying to recapture, create some magic that has waned.
Yes.
So I'm here for it. I'm excited for it because we do
I'm looking
have,
forward to Bo and Hope coming back.
Yeah.
I am very I've heard so much about them. And another one, and I can't wait to see her, and I hope she's gnarly as ever. And that's Sammy. I'm looking
she's on the
forward to
slate
seeing
too.
Sammy.
She's on the slate as well.
You know what I was surprised with? I'm surprised. I thought that Eric would have left already.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that he's still in town too, right?
Yeah, Eric is still around, but maybe he's going to leave pretty soon, though. I think he's pretty much convinced Holly to go to Paris. I think Holly's going to be leaving.
Yeah.
Leaving the show.
Yeah, you think they're done with Holly, huh?
I think so. I think she's going to be convinced because Eric was trying to convince her to go back to Paris when he's go to Paris, not back to, but go to Paris. He was fighting with her. Well, she was fighting with him more than he was fighting with her. That's for sure. But I think she is going to go, and Sophia will get Tate, I guess.
I guess. I don't know. I don't care about no Sophia. I don't care about none of them kids. Break up, date. Who cares? Just don't have any kids. Don't have
Hmm.
any, no babies having babies, all right? We don't need that. I don't really know what the future is for Holly because Miss Holly has been very tied into the whole Tate sitch. Yeah, she's been upset with her mom every once in a while, but she really doesn't have anything going on other
No,
than Tate.
I think that the character of Holly will be moving on, and we
Hmm.
won't have a Holly anymore on for a little bit.
But that's kind of nice. Give a character a break a little bit. She has been on for the year that we've been watching.
Hmm.
She's been doing plenty, creating all kinds of issues, but she's still in high school. She needs to graduate. She needs to grow up a little bit, go to college, come back, and then she can be like, you know, adulterous and have multiple
She can just
boyfriends.
homeschool. She can just homeschool her last semester and be done.
We need Sophia as the new generation of bad girls, says Sandra.
Yeah,
I am over Tate and Sophia and Holly, says Jeannie.
I am too, really. I am
Yeah,
too.
you know, I mean, so like, so from Tate, from my observational point of view, Sophia's been after Tate for weeks and weeks and weeks, like since it was snowing.
Oh,
She's,
sure. Yeah,
and
she's been after Tate before we almost got a radiated Hulk baby.
yeah, she's been before this. While we were wondering if there was the irradiated Hulk baby on the way, Sophia was already like that Tate. If only he was 3 years older and brown haired. Right? It was a joke about them changing the actor. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and we get to make more jokes about that at 10:30 for General Hospital. Um, I don't know. It's fine. When it comes down to it, teenagers are not interesting often on soap operas. They try. They have little bits and pieces there, but in order to be an interesting teen on a soap opera, you have to be exceptional.
Well, and you do, and typically the way it used to be anyway, not so much now, but the way it used to be is they would have they would have a teenage arc for the summer.
Hmm.
That's what soap operas
Well,
did.
maybe
There
that's
was
what
a
this
teenage
was.
arc for the summer. So, we can look at it that way, that perhaps that was, especially this past summer, because it was very centric, with the cabin and all that stuff. So that was the teen arc, and now the arc has completed itself.
It is finished. It is
It's finished.
finished.
It's finished.
We all finished. Tate can
Mhm.
stick around, I guess. He can be a cop, I guess. I don't know. Samaj says, when they aged Holly, I thought it was going to be, I thought they were going to have her as drama for Johnny and Chanel. But then they wound up with Holly and Tate. It was almost a problem for Johnny and Chanel.
Yeah, but thank goodness Johnny had his senses and I wasn't an idiot.
Well, the big thing I think that got in the way of whatever maybe original plan or I don't know, just making sure the audience can match their expectations was the marriage between Nicole and EJ,
Hmm.
which then changes the relationship between Holly and Johnny
Well, yeah, now
legally.
they're stepsister.
Now they're step siblings. And so
Hmm.
she's like, I got a crush. And EJ's like, oh, no, you don't. You know, all right, fine. And then she moves on and starts liking Tate. So it was
Hmm.
there for a moment, and then they smushed it.
Well, yeah, yeah, and I think in today's world, we have to be very sensitive to a minor having eyes on a not minor.
Yes, yes. And so they had aged Holly to the point where she had just graduated from high school. Then we can do like a what's that
May,
weird
December.
May December, but then there's also like a weird creepy movie about some young babysitter liking some older dude, like the hand that rocks the cradle
Yes,
or something. I don't
yes,
know.
yes, yes.
Yeah, in the proposition. I don't know what it's called.
Hmm.
Some freaking Michael Douglas movie or something.
Hmm.
Anyway, I haven't been interested in Holly and Tate, but I'd like to see Ariana, who's Gabby's daughter,
Oh, I would
come
like
in
to
as a
see her too.
teenager.
I think she would be a spitfire. Oh
Yes,
my gosh.
maybe that's what they need.
They would have to make her a chip off the old block, kind of like Jocelyn with Carly on GH. I would love to see her teenage daughter, and I want her teenage daughter to give her hell and treat her like, you don't know anything, mother.
So this is the first time Laura's heard irradiated Hulk baby, which is something, Laura, if you had joined us when Chanel was pregnant, we talked about that like crazy, irradiated Hulk baby. And then she goes, I feel bad for laughing because a sick baby is no laughing matter, but that was funny. Irradiated Hulk baby is not a sick baby.
No.
She is the Hulk. She turns green and gets smash things and is a superhero.
Yes.
So laugh all you want. An irradiated Hulk baby is a good thing.
It was going to be awesome.
It was going to be great. But unfortunately, it just wasn't meant to be for Johnny and Chanel this time. Now, it will be time for Alex and Chanel, just in time for Johnny to think that it's his.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because, I don't know, maybe Alex is going to wind up with a Jada, or not a Jada. Well, maybe a Jada too. Wouldn't that be something if he just wound up with everybody?
Well, hasn't it? Well, it would be round 2, maybe. I mean, we've only been watching for a year.
So, maybe we'll wind up with a Chanel and Stephanie.
It kind of cracks me up. That girl, she kind of cracks me up. She's so sweet. And she's so horny. I don't know.
So she was trying to jump them bones. We talked about it before, and he was like, no, I don't know if this is the right idea. And she's like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, I used to be rich, but now I'm not. And
Alex, the personal growth that Alex has had in the last 6 months is quite impressive.
Hi, Ivara, not to be confused with Lara. Ivara wants to know, do you have any favorite characters or couples? John Black and John and Marlena, so I'm going to have to pick a new one. But those were my favorites. I'm gonna have to decide now. Ma, do you have an answer? In the last year, do you have like somebody that you're like, oh yes, they're on this episode, yes?
I enjoy a lot of them. I have to say, some of you might think it's a weird choice, but I'm always interested in the mayor.
Paulina.
I
like
enjoy
Paulina.
And I'm always interested because I'm always thinking like, okay, what's Jackie gonna do this time? Because sometimes she's real animated and over the top and boisterous and all over the place, so big. Her character's so big.
Yes.
But sometimes she's like hones it in,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always interested in how she's gonna, how is Paulina going to come across this time?
You also really like Leo.
Yes, I also really, really like Leo. He can't, I mean, for every sentence that Leo says that is pertinent information and something to really share, there's 6 sentences of baloney.
Yes.
And the 6 sentences of baloney is awesome. I love the writing for Leo. I think the writing is right up there. I know I keep on bringing up references to another show, but it's right up there with Spinelli.
Just very
of Leo.
Like they've captured who this person is.
The essence of their weird personality.
Right. So much as Paulina's definitely come a long way since she first arrived. And I love the scenes that she had with Jada recently.
Me too.
There you go.
It's one of those ones where she honed it in, and it was, a lot of times Paulina is just so over the top that she's, it overshadows what the story is.
Yeah. I think a lot of that has to do with just the fame that Jackie had coming in. Because that type of character has been one that she's been able to take to the bank many times. From apartment 227 to sister. Yeah, it's like if the apartment 227 had adopted an identical twin and then moved in with the stuffed shirt businessman, right?
Right.
Sister. And then carrying forward to this as well, in whatever projects she had in between. You know what kind of character you're getting if Jackie is playing her. And so to have an opportunity to step away from that, and that's actually something she talked about to Day of Days as well. When we're like, hey, if you could write something or if you could play something, what would it be? Was basically the essence of the question. And her answer was like, I would play a man. A
Yeah, she
straight
did
up
say that.
dude.
We're hoping, you guys, we're hoping Day of Days is November 2nd. We're hoping to get a press pass and we're hoping to talk to Jack A again. And I think now that we've been watching over a year and where we went to Day of Days last year and only been watching for 4 months,
Right.
I think that our questions are going to be better. I think
Oh,
our
yes.
interaction is going to be better with the cast if we have the opportunity.
And plus, with that, the only being watching for 3 or 4 months, we were only kind of well versed in the 3 or 4 months of what they were doing at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I had questions for Alex and Stephanie and Chad and Lee and EJ,
Mm-hmm.
but that was it,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
all that was being focused on at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Uh,
also, and then
we're
if I
still waiting.
and
These
if
are
I
last minute people over there.
and if I get a chance to talk to Stephen Nichols again, I could be like, "Hey, man, so I found out that you didn't lose your eye in the war. I think Bo took it from you, honestly." Because I saw this scene at the docks, right, where you smashed him over the head, right, knocked him out. He looked at, you might have confused him for Barry Gibb and not Bo Brady, but whatever, he looks just like a BG, Ma.
He looks like a
He's
BG.
got the big hair and the beard, and he just
I
looks
saw.
just like a
I've seen
BG.
lots of pictures of him. I mean, he's not. None of these guys are unattractive now at all. But back in the day, Bo Brady and John Black, fine. They
They
were
could have
looking
gotten it.
fine for '80s. Oh, they were looking fine
Either one of them could
back
have
in the
been my
'80s.
stepdaddy.
Mm-hmm. So cute, so cute. But I thought Drake was handsome when I met him, and that was
Hmm.
just last year.
Yeah. So he smashes Bo Brady over the head. Oh, and then he's got his brings his trusty switchblade out. That's his prop. Is the switchblade. He even kissed it once. I shared a picture of it. He's like, "Soon, my little friend." Like, sincerely, like the camera is here, and instead of spiking the camera, he's just kind of off a little bit, and he's just like, "Soon, my friend. Soon."
He's a bad guy.
He's a
He's a
Not only is he a
bad
bad guy, but folks, remember this is 1985, okay? So if you want to take somebody and make sure that you paint them as the soap villain of the week,
Mm-hmm.
it's this kind of performance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you, Bo
He's
Brady. So he brings out his knife and he's like, "I'm gonna get you for what you did to me, just not yet. Just not yet. But I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you for what you did to me, Bo Brady." And he runs off. So I'm assuming that Bo took his eye.
I think
Because
so.
we don't know anything about Steve Johnson. He's supposed to be a little temporary character at the time. He
Mhm.
don't even have a name. Like, sincerely, he's just some guy with the eye patch. They haven't called him a dang thing.
Well, they made quite an impression on him, on them, because he's still there.
Well,
All
Samaj was
years
Samaj was
later.
telling me on Twitter that he just made an impression in that short, the classic story. They hired me for 6 weeks and I never went home.
Yes.
Steve Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the DoD Day of Days is going to be inside? We did see that.
Inside.
It's indoors this time.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's better.
Yeah. It's going to be in one of their large theaters over at
Especially
Television
since
City.
California still thinks it's freaking summer and it's 100 degrees still.
Well,
Gosh,
hopefully it
no.
won't be like that in 4
There's no such
weeks.
thing as global warming, though.
You could still have Marlena and John, Matt, as your favorite just for 7 months. I can. Unfortunately, though, we have to correct something that we were musing about last week. If you didn't get updated with anything else that has come out, because it's been covered and covered and covered. But as it turns out, the last scene that we had with John and Brady is the last scene that Drake Hogestyn was able to film.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, based off of interviews that we've had with his co-stars at the time, he was very, very, very sick while doing that. Like, needed, like, "I'm going to film this. Oh, okay, I need to take 5. Catch my
that
breath."
last. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. No
To get
wonder
out there and power through those scenes with Brady, which explains why they didn't ask him to come back.
Well, sure, because he must have been in the thralls of treatment then, and treatment will just make you, a lot of times treatment will make you just as sick as the actual disease you're battling.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. On top of that, too, when it comes to any sort of timeline, I haven't talked to the family or anything, so I don't know the dates of anything. But
Right.
from when we learned that this was going down to fast forwarding to today, and then hearing the interviews from his co-stars and people who had interacted with him and text messages that had been shared, diagnosed, deteriorated, died. It was very fast, like a year. What's Patrick Swayze, kind of similar situation.
He must have he must have just found out or was real close to finding out last year at the Emmys, at the December
I
15th Emmys that we went
I
to.
think I think Stephen Nichols said that he had already been diagnosed at that point because he had mentioned that that was the last time that they had seen each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Ooh, had even seen each other.
Yeah.
So Drake must have not wanted too many visitors.
Also from all of those interviews, he was very, 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 very much a family man.
Hmm.
Um, and so I think that he had his day's life and his family life, and they didn't necessarily blend, and one was far more important than the other. Both very important, but one was more important than the other.
Sure.
So I don't know if it was necessarily don't come see me or just I'm focused on spending this
Sure.
time with the
Sure.
family. I don't know. This is all speculation.
Yeah. Wow. Man, oh man, oh man. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I we've seen it over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
Man, cancer is awful, isn't
Yeah,
it?
F cancer, man.
F cancer all the way. And golly, I even lost my own dad to lung cancer. He was only 75 years old. He wasn't that old. I mean, that's old, it's full life, but still,
You're
75 in today's world ain't that old.
wasn't he 70?
75 when he died.
Who's he?
My dad.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I lost
Yeah.
my dad to lung cancer. Can't and man, cancer just ravishes your body.
Yeah, it's no
A
good.
lot of a lot of times, and it depends on what kind it is, but by the time you find out, you're already pretty advanced.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when symptoms present, it's because the tumors are large enough to press on something or to cause pain or to block some sort of signal.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like the more sensitive, like a pancreas, like the reason why the pancreas you can't do surgery on it. Treatment is very difficult. Plus, also the pancreas is right there in your digestive system, and so it's very easy for that cancer to spread, which is why it's so deadly.
Sure. And
Some
you need your pancreas to create insulin. It's not like you can kill it.
right, so it just sucks all around.
Yeah.
Something is other things are more detectable. Skin cancer is a little more easily detectable. The throat cancer is a little more easily detectable because usually you have changes to your taste, your ability to swallow. It presents a little earlier. But something deep inside like that, absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm.
Um, but on happier news, Michelle, when she was a teenager, sent Peter Reckle, who plays Bo Brady, a letter, and he responded with an autograph.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love to hear those old stories. I've heard about other soap opera actors, and back in the day where there wasn't, you didn't have a full email basket. You
Right.
actually had like a full basket
Yes. 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 Yes.
of
Yes.
something that you could pick up. It was tangible. All these fan letters and stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
remember Ken Schreiner saying that he really missed getting fan
The
letters,
physical fan letters. Yeah. Yeah.
physical
You're
fan
used to like
letters.
opening them and reading them.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different. It's different. It's totally different. I can
Different.
understand how somebody who was working on soaps back then and is working on soaps now would have a lot of things that they
Mhm.
missed about the previous portion of their career.
You can't spray an email with perfume and send it.
Right. You can't be like, oh, I wonder what she smells pretty. Anyway, folks, I don't know. We need. Is there? What else do we need to talk about? Plot. See, here's the thing. So, Days of Our Lives was on for the last 2 weeks, but I can't necessarily say that anything like
Well,
happened.
a
Like,
couple of we need to talk about a couple of plots. I'm I'm enjoying Heart and Soul. I mean,
it is fun.
it's fun, and I tell you who I'm enjoying the most. Well, two actually, but and I don't remember her name, the actress's name, but the girl that plays Bonnie, she's a damn good actress. I just love the character of Bonnie, and I love how weird she gets about heart and soul and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
like her audition and stuff was so good.
Yeah, yeah,
When they had her
absolutely.
do the audition,
Oh yeah,
it was
oh
just
yeah,
so good. I think Bonnie has some real talent, and when they were going to say they're going to fire her and stuff, and all the behind the scenes things of a soap opera, they're doing that on purpose
oh
because
yeah.
that stuff really happens. I
Yes,
mean, I'm sure it's exaggerated and it's blown up and gotten bigger
it's
for
yeah,
TV.
it's a joke.
They're exaggerating it, but those bumps, those things happen
Yes,
in a real production,
yes,
right?
yes, yes,
So
yes.
it's fun to watch. I'm enjoying that. If I'm enjoying that part. And
Judy Evans.
I'm enjoying, I mean, I haven't seen Deidre play another character within her character. We hadn't seen that yet.
Yeah,
We didn't see, I mean, Matthew's probably watched some old footage now, but I haven't seen Deidre be much other than Marlena. So watching her be Weird Hattie,
you know what, Loma? You
it's
know what?
fun.
You know what? Marlena in 1985, Marlena in 2024. Same lady.
Yeah.
Same lady. I understand it's the same actress. That's not what I'm
Hmm.
saying.
Hmm.
Same, it's like same. Just like I saw, I've seen in just a handful of episode clips why she is such a daytime legend. Deidre Hall, great actress. I'm not saying that she's not a great actress, but what really anchors Marlena is Marlena
Hmm.
because she, like today, you see women characters like her all the time.
Hmm. Hmm.
Back in 1985, this woman was in complete control of her life. What she wanted, she was going after. She was going to stand up to the chief of police and say that this man's not bad and to give him a chance. All right, I'll put him on a work release program because it's the 80s and that's how the men sound. I'll put him on a work release program. He becomes her gardener. Then he doesn't make it back to his jail cell at night and the liquor store gets knocked over. Well, obviously, it was this Jake guy, Marlena.
Hmm.
No, it wasn't. You have to believe him. Well, all the evidence is pointing in that direction, Marlena.
Hmm.
It's not the truth. Just ask him. Just ask him. They asked him, and guess what, Ma? It wasn't him. It was the other guy.
It was the other
It was
guy.
the other guy after all. And she
Hmm.
was like,
There you have it.
Marlena. She dated this police chief for a minute and just isn't. It's not going to work out because he's not Roman. She misses Roman. Anyway, you got to see some of
Absolutely.
this. We'll plan a watch a doodle of
Okay.
something of
So
something.
yeah, I enjoyed the heart and soul stuff. That was interesting this week. Probably a day too much of it.
I hear
Probably
you.
a day
I
too
hear
much
you.
of it. So that, and I'm enjoying we saw some progression in the Abigail story.
Yes, a little confusion, a little
A little
questions here and
confusion,
there.
yes.
So
So it appears that she is a fourth sibling that's had her face changed.
yes, but why
And
would we?
that's why Felicity sees that she's so familiar
Yes,
because it's really their sister. And I guess their sister's supposed to be gone as well.
I guess their mom and their sister are missing.
Yeah, the
I
mom and
don't know. There's
but
now
the
questions.
yeah, and now the kids all believe, well, the two younger kids believe anyway, that their mother is dead.
Yes,
But evidently, crazy Clyde
Clyde just has her locked in a closet somewhere.
has her locked somewhere. I don't know. It's a little convoluted. It's a little
It's a little,
convoluted.
yeah. I imagine we're supposed to continue to stay tuned to find out what's happening with the Green family.
Yes,
But
yes.
yeah, yeah.
And now, Julie has convinced Chad that the kids need to meet Abigail,
Hmm.
which I understand that because, Julie is right. Well, they're going to hear eventually
Hmm.
that their mother is alive. Wouldn't they need to hear that from us or you? Whatever. Yeah, she's right because there is enough people now that
Yeah.
know that Abigail is alive,
Mm-hmm.
that the children would hear it somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. But hopefully she doesn't get to carry this on too long. I
No,
mean,
I think her
yeah,
guilt
it
is
would.
going to get in the way.
Well, she already feeling really remorseful, isn't she? But not
Yeah.
remorseful enough to correct it. But soap opera style, that should come out when they're at the altar,
Which is should be coming soon.
which should be
But
coming
we're going to
soon.
find out that she is Abigail.
Maybe,
She's
yeah,
Abigail who had her face changed to look like that, and now they're telling her that she's not Abigail.
yeah, oh, could be.
Because
Oh,
otherwise, here's my big question about that, Ma. And I know this is probably just, the answer is probably just because it's a different actress. Okay, and I get that that's the answer, folks, all right?
mhm,
But if they were to go through all of this trouble of changing this person, Abigail, I don't know what her original name is, right?
mhm,
If they were to go to the trouble of changing Abigail's face to that, why
mhm.
wouldn't they just change it to her original Abigail face entirely? We
Right,
have the technology.
right. Especially when you got Dr. Rolf coming through the tunnels.
Yeah, he's got a little needle that will regain somebody's ability to walk. All right? So, listen, the answer is because it's not the same actress. But when it comes to
Mhm,
like a villainous concept, why wouldn't
mhm,
you just make her look the same?
mhm.
Whatever.
That makes far too much sense. Um,
Whatever.
so yeah, that's a little convoluted. Where see how that goes. Man, Clyde got a long reach though, doesn't he?
He sure does. Too much of a long reach, honestly.
Too much.
Like, like who, like at this point, he's working with Victor Cassadine, right? Like, there has to be oh, by the way, Stefano's brain was put into a jar and it's running a computer. And he's really the person that's involved with everything. Have they done the
And,
brain in the jar yet, folks? Let me know. Because if not,
it doesn't make
I got an idea.
sense yet to me why they had John Black over there.
On it for that one may have just been Drake's sick. We need to get him off. Here's the current big plot that we're doing. Let's tie John into that. And because I would imagine a year ago when the diagnosis went down, they were like, okay, let's put my pen down. We got to think here logically for a second.
Mm-hmm.
We got to make room for John to not be here, but we don't want to get rid of the character.
Right.
Because what if he pulls through? What if this works out?
Yeah. Or they didn't know, and then also as he went through as he went through the treatment as well, you don't know, everybody's different. Some people, their body can champion through it, and they don't have that many side effects from the treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, it just takes them out of the game. The treatment itself takes them out of the game.
Yeah. So they didn't know how he was going to respond to it. They didn't
Right.
know how much he'd be taken out, how much time he'd need to. So they just, what a terrible, awkward situation to be put in.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, we find out, oh gosh, okay, so Drake is now being admitted into hospice care. This is end of life care. It's too late for us to do something with him on the show. So I think that was just them trying to keep it moving, give a reason why John wouldn't be there for a minute and utilize current plot, and then do one of those. Well, maybe we'll be able to tie this into something later.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, and one more thing we have to talk about.
Yes.
One more thing. Right before, I wanted Connie's demise to be more fleshy,
yeah,
bigger.
yeah,
It wasn't.
no,
But I thought the way when they had her like and just completely checked out and in a whole new land, with Jada, witness her. She's not even in reality anymore.
no, total
She's
break.
spinning something. She's living within her own mind now.
A total cockadoodie fantasy,
Yeah,
complete
break from reality.
mental break from reality. Yes.
Yes.
Now that makes it interesting. That also keeps the character alive.
Hmm?
And then Julie Dove, who's the actress, she said on Twitter that somebody asked, what would you like to be next for Connie? And her answer was, I want a session with Marlena. So it's fun. We're going to talk about all of that at noon today, folks,
We
because
are.
Julie Dove is going to be here live with us on the channel. Connie Vaninsky, Cockadoodie Connie,
Cockadoodie
is going
Connie.
to be with us live here at noontime
Mm-hmm.
to talk about Days of Our Lives, talk about that arc, talk about Lee, talk about Gabby, and talk about the complete mental break that she's experiencing and what that might mean for the future. Plus,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Julie is a big Days of Our Lives fan, so we're gonna have a lot of
Oh,
fun
that's
just
awesome.
talking about it. We're gonna have a lot of fun talking about it. So prepare and get ready for that. They could have several scripts ready for Drake if he survived or if he had passed, says Kelly. It's entirely possible. I really have no idea what they did backstage internally to prepare for having to do plot.
Yeah.
Especially also at the same time, the writers changed. Like the writers changed during this this issue as well. So I really don't know. I'm not going to comment one way or the other because I have no idea what it is that's going to be happening.
I do wonder though. I mean, we all do. We all wonder what are they going to do with the character of John Black? Are they going to have him? Are they going to have him pass away, the character, or are they going to have him? Are they just going to send him off to, just being off camera and alive somewhere
I
forever?
feel like they're likely going to have the character pass because that's just what they seem to do. And I think
Yeah,
it's what Soapland does,
yeah, I think so
you know?
too.
So I
For the
feel like
most
he's going to
part,
pass.
yes.
The hows, though, is the big question because John Black, big adventurer. It's entirely
Right.
possible he had an off screen adventure and didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
But is that the right thing? Because John was more than just a particular thing. You know, he was more
Right.
than just an adventurer. And I didn't see Victor. I didn't see Stefano. So I really
Mm-hmm.
can't comment on how those deaths were treated. I know that
Mm-hmm.
Victor went down in a plane crash, but I don't know if it's, if that was, because I know they were saying, oh, well, is that respectful? Is that not respectful? Yes, noon Pacific time, Kelly. Is that respectful? Is it not respectful? Should he have just gone in his sleep like he did in real life and did it? I really don't know the answers to that.
Mm-hmm.
I think when it comes to John Black, if I was writing it, I would write him I was sick and I died at home surrounded by my family. Now, if that means you need to cast a body double or something, I don't know what that looks like. But if
Mm-hmm.
I was writing it, I would have him get sick at home, be surrounded by his family, because ultimately that is, in my estimation, the core of what John Black really was. He was about the love that he had for his kids and his family. He even never stopped loving that Isabel lady who was Brady's mom, who passed
Mm-hmm.
away
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
of pancreatic cancer on the show.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Mm.
That hit me like a ton of bricks when I read that.
Wow.
So that's how I would write it, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not writing it, so I really don't know what it's going to look like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I assume they will have a proper funeral for John's care. Oh, absolutely. I'm sure it'll be a 2-day event.
Yeah, I'm sure too.
So,
Sure
so
too.
yeah, that's it. On that happy note, we're going to get out of here because we're going to come back in just a few minutes
Yes, we
to talk
are.
about General Hospital. So, we're going to take ourselves a 15-20 minute break, rest our throats, refill our coffees, and come right back here because 10th floor is going to start soon.
Yes, 10th floor starting 30 minutes early, guys.
So we're starting 10th floor early. We're going to get through GH. There was only 3 episodes of it, so it'll be easy. Lots of Liz and Lucky talk, essentially.
Yep. We're gonna, come back in
So
15,
Rick,
20
some
minutes.
Ava, all of that stuff. Come on back, hang out with us some more. And then at noon Pacific time, Julie Dove is going to be here, and it's going to be a great time. So that's it. Class dismissed. Get out of here. Go swing for the fences, folks. I've been Matt.
And I've been Kat.
And we'll catch you just in a few minutes.